As I said earlier, the ABC staff have voted to strike for an outrageous pay rise. 6% a year. 6% a year. Who gets that? Plus extra super. But get this, they're only going to strike for just 40 minutes next week. About as long as a lunch break. There, job done. Can we have our 6% now? And then they can go back to doing their really important taxpayer-funded work for Australia, like producing this TikTok guide on how to dress gay at the ABC.
Is it possible to look subtly queer? Hey, I'm Rudy Jean Rigg, your ABC correspondent for World Pride, and sometimes you might choose to show your pride in a more subtle way. We have a thumb ring, so some of you may know of like the lesbian thumb ring, but it doesn't just have to be lesbians, it can be anyone that loves women too. And then for my earring, I have a single drop earring, the gay earring that was sort of a thing in the 70s and 80s. Then if you want to go subtle with your flag colours, I would suggest either painting them on your nails in some way, or like I've done, putting them on my eyes.
And spoiler alert, you've got to wear your Doc Martens as well. A number of angles to this story, as you can tell, and to discuss them, Sophie Elsworth, media writer for The Australian, and later tonight, host of The Front Page. Catch her at 10:30. Sophie, how to dress gay? In fact, how to dress in the exact same predictable lesbian uniform. Is that really one of the reasons we pay the ABC $1.1 billion a year?
Andrew, I think a lot of viewers out there will be questioning, why is the ABC spending money on content like this? This seems to be a waste of money in my view, and how they've actually got the time and the resources, given that the ABC is constantly crying poor, pleading for money, and as you said in this segment, they are wanting more pay, yet they're spending money on content like this. This is the difference, Andrew, between being a commercial broadcaster and a public broadcaster, where you get dumped $1 billion of cash each year and you don't have to worry about how you spend it because you've got that much money, you don't know what to do with it.
Well, I'll tell you another difference, of course. If you go to pay rise to a private sector employer, they've got to figure out how to give a pay rise without going broke. I mean, there's a limit, right? But here, the staff of unions, one of the staff unions has said, well, look, if the ABC can't afford this 6% pay rise, they should just go and get the cash from the Albanese government. I mean, they seem so unbelievably entitled. And here's the thing, Sophie, 40 minutes. I wonder whether it wouldn't be good for everyone if their strike wasn't 40 minutes, but like 40 weeks, or just 1 week, a year, because that way it'll teach us and them that we don't actually need a taxpayer-funded broadcaster.
Well, I don't think they'd want to do that, Andrew, obviously, because they'd be worried that we'd think we could survive without them. But I question, how much impact will a 40-minute strike or stop work actually have? And are they serious about this just to take their lunch break off and march down the street and get a bit of fresh air? I mean, I think this is a peculiar amount of time to stop work and think they're going to have an impact. They are doing it, Andrew, at the exact same time next week that the RBA announces its rate decision at 2:30. They're taking that 40 minutes off. So they think that will have maximum impact across their different networks.
Well, maybe people could just switch to alternatives like Sky News and we'll soon learn that we don't need to pay $1.1 billion to an entitled bunch of people that have been hijacked by the left. I mean, we don't need to. I think don't strike for 40 minutes, strike for 40 weeks. Let's see. We'll get used to it. We won't mind.